Good afternoon. It's August 25th, 2026. I'm not sure what day of the week is. Is it Wednesday, Ames?
It's Tuesday, and happy birthday, deceased dad.
Okay, Tuesday, and happy birthday to your deceased dad.
Yes.
All right, so this is going to be episode 65 of Let's Talk to Strangers, the podcast Ames and I have been collaborating on, addressing our social issues, really, like our ability to socialize and the reasons why it's impaired. Sometimes we demonstrate the ways that we actually work on improving our communication skills, like live in real time. Because like these are like we like demonstrating for other people. Like, yeah, no, we both have severe communication difficulties due to autism and
Drama.
trauma. Thank you. Because yeah, I'm getting anxious thinking about what I'm saying and the fact that yeah, I'm well aware that the people who actually watch my videos are mainly police officers and the landlord that I'm working on writing a response to his motion to dismiss. And I got pretty upset. Ames, how loud did I get when I just started ranting back? Like, how loud was that on like a scale of 1 to 10? You've heard how loud I get.
That was you're still shouting in a conversation, not the loudness of singing.
Okay.
But you were very quickly, within a few seconds, getting back. How loud is this?
Yeah, that's that sudden spike.
Yeah, the sudden spike.
That's what they're calling disorderly conduct. That's what they're calling disturbing the peace, is me getting upset and raising my voice because I'm panicking. And I trained myself to stand still and just shake through it by ranting out loud exactly why I'm upset. So
I learned how to mask depression symptoms from, let's face it, teenage onwards, but I'm not going to rehash the childhood prequel, etc. throughout the day because I want to be more focused on current day.
yeah. So the Weymouth police since October 2024 have been criminalizing the very obvious symptoms of my PTSD, autism, and anxiety disorders. They are claiming disorderly conduct and disturbing the peace for me raising my voice and sounding angry. And you can see it from their own documentation that they are retaliating against Ames and I for filing formal complaints against the sergeant who now that I've actually bothered to read the social workers paperwork, I hadn't bothered to go get a copy of the social workers restraining order, which she just happened to file on my birthday, the day after the sergeant that we complained about heard me say that I was at the recovery center to print the evidence that the police have been harassing and discriminating against us, me in particular, because of my autism and PTSD, and that they've been trying to drive me out of Weymouth. I said that I was there to gather evidence. They wrote a whole report about it, and then 3 months later, after Ames filed their own handwritten complaint against those two Weymouth Police Department employees, who I'll just stop saying their names. It's a social worker and a sergeant. But they then filed some bullshit charges against Ames. That Ames, I'm not going to talk on your business other than that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, but that also it's exactly because of me. And also that they threatened you 2 years ago with doing that, and then actually did it after you finally formally filed a complaint.
Yeah.
And calling them on, do you mind if I discuss the contents of the complaints? It's all the same stuff I complain about. The crosses and the lack of follow-up.
Oh yeah, I do have a creepy neighbor because I have no idea who left the crosses notes on my lawn, but I made sure the top post a Facebook post related to that on my Facebook page.
Yeah, do you want to briefly explain the cross situation, what happened from your perspective?
It involves someone who can be just as crazy but quiet and focused as you, and I don't know the psychological profile of whoever the hell this is, so I have no idea what this individual person's limits are, but once we get into focus and quiet, it's like, oh shit, this could be hopefully their limit or maybe not their limit, because I know there's a whole range of personalities out there in the world.
Okay, so you think
Including
this...
hidden white ass suburbia, because we are a very asinine environment.
Okay, so...
But I know white people lead serial killers. I know white people lead mass shooters. I know serial killers on the down and mass shooters on the up. But it's like not all of us are that. But this is like the kind of mental environment that creates, oh shit, it becomes the story eventually, that creepy extra.
Okay, so out of what you just said, like the gist of what I got is you think this person is crazy like me, and you have no idea how dangerous they might be, and then you went to as dangerous as possible. You didn't say anything about what actually happened.
Yeah, but that's because my mind's on more how generally emotionally toxic an environment like this is, and how there's lots of more mundane, we don't get as dangerous as that, and then holy shit, there are these categories of crime where we definitely dominate.
Okay, so that's your emotion.
So that also unfortunately goes back into childhood and such. I'm gonna dip out of this, and you try to.
Okay, so I'm just gonna think out loud about what I just heard you say.
Yeah.
Because that's what I need to do right now to process all of that. Because that was do you think I'm a serial killer, Ames?
No, this entire area is white middle class suburbia and big chunks of the country, and I just see a lot of the larger factors mean, yeah, these are the environments that produce some sick individuals. A lot of us are just complaining little things, and then some of us are dangerous people, and we're in an environment where that whole range of mindsets can be bred, and I have no way.
Do you actually think I'm dangerous like that?
No, it's Madame Sauvé Levant.
Okay, so whoever left that fucking letter on our lawn is who you think might be that dangerous, because
or
the
maybe
police
not that dangerous, because I don't know them.
But yeah, we don't have any idea who it is because the police did absolutely no fucking follow up. They put the evidence in a locker and just didn't follow up with us ever.
And so far as I'm concerned, since this is my childhood environment, this is where I learn culturally, where emotionally, socially, not so great environment, producing everything from your regular jackass shooting their fucking mouth off to, oh shit, that person could hurt someone.
Yeah, because no, in their complaints to the court or whatever the fucking shit they file with the courts is to file charges against somebody, the police have literally been using the fact that I talk about the kind of violence that you just brought up as evidence that I am dangerous, when I'm constantly talking about violence prevention and how afraid I am of that kind of violence happening. And the fact that
that's a Madame Sauvé, because I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
It says how much actual risk or not they are.
Right, and the fact that I will be honest about the fact that the reason that I do not carry weapons and drop things I'm holding as soon as I start to get upset is because I know what I'm physically capable of. And I don't want to hurt anyone. I know I can fire a gun. I don't want to. You know, is he's calling you again?
Yeah, I haven't talked with Chris all day.
You choose your own actions.
Um.
But I'm still recording.
Yeah.
Because he was good for a day before he started calling me a nigger and everything else and threatening me and telling me he wants me to kill myself and everything else.
I'm just touched. Can I message you back later before I deal with that part of life?
And I don't know why I answered the phone, but I answered the phone again today because he hadn't called all day as far as I knew. But I forgot, no, it's not that he didn't call. I set my ringer to off. I cannot keep the ringer on the phone on. Because he's constantly calling me to either yell and scream at me and tell me that he wants me to kill myself, or tell me how much he misses me and loves me and that he's trying so hard. And I'm like, dude, I get it, but no, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll answer the phone maybe when I can, when I feel like it. At this point, I'll answer the phone when I can, and then a lot of the times I answer it and just hang up so he can't leave me a voicemail. Like, blocking his number, it just goes to voicemail, and then he fills my voicemail with emotional abuse. So, yeah, oh yeah, no, that's the thing. So we got distracted by that.
And
So
meanwhile, we
the
have a
day,
creepy
the first time that I got arrested for disorderly conduct,
yeah.
after the cops watched me obviously having a flashback and a meltdown at the same time for like a half an hour, that was the day I found out that that sergeant was the one who was supposed to be investigating the crosses and the letter. The one who was very obviously trying to force me to just leave. The one who you then, like, filed a complaint about for witness intimidation and for failing to follow up on the fact that we were being left wooden crosses with threatening messages and then a letter, like a hand signed, that was typed, it was hand signed,
Burned on the edges, carefully placed in a
Yeah.
zip-style bag with a rock to weigh it down, taking responsibility for the previous cross incidents.
Yeah, and vaguely threatening. It was the thing. There's no outright like, we're
Leave
gonna
our
get
peaceful
you.
neighborhood.
Yeah. So all of that, okay, all of that,
Yep.
the illegal eviction, because and the neighbors would agree. We had problems in 2023. I got the mental health help I needed.
Yeah.
Things were going pretty good until I went out to North Adams to move your apartment, got illegally evicted.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
remember how that was extra rough for us, and specifically after that.
Yeah, because we hadn't had any issues for a while. And I had gone and I was traveling with Adam. Things were good. But then the fucking illegal eviction bullshit. So I think there was butter on the table. There's something greasy on the table. But yeah, so like literally all of that came as a result of on July 25th, 2024, tenant filed a complaint with Northern Berkshire District Court for the illegal eviction. During the hearings for that complaint, defendant acknowledged that he did turn off the utilities, did change the locks, and did steal the emergency exit shut. Case was transferred to housing court and subsequently dismissed because plaintiff was unable to attend, and tenant, also a disabled person, was too overwhelmed by the stress of the case and defendant's hostile, harassing behavior to attend without plaintiff's support. See attached statement from tenant regarding these events and subsequent effect on them. And then the last point that I've written on this response to motion to dismiss is civil complaint was filed with Northern Berkshire Superior Court by plaintiff on his own behalf in October 2025 due to the ongoing detrimental emotional, social, financial, and relational effects of being subjected to this illegal eviction. So basically, like, we had sorted out the medication issues that I was having and what was going on. And then all of this shit with the landlord happened. And also the medication. Like, I need to figure out, like, I need to file something, like, I need to, like, directly contact the company. Like, I've complained about it to a couple of different doctors in emergency rooms, but Strattera 40 milligrams straight up made me want to eat people. Like, it was
I remember
awful.
that time period too, because that's what you were forced to put on at the time.
That was one of those times that I voluntarily went to a hospital. The day I got out of the hospital from that incident is the day that the dickhead across the street came up to the corner acting like he was going to kick the shit out of me, and ended up running down to the bridge and stopping to sit down and write an email, and someone decided to call the police and tell them they thought I was going to jump off the bridge. So I got to go back to another hospital because the dickhead across the street fucking threatened me for talking to you all the way at the corner.
And don't forget, they were both sprinting rather than trying to approach Adam as her pace, trying to ask questions.
Yeah, no,
So
he was just
definitely
was charging directly at
Yeah.
me. He had every intention of hitting me.
definitely not the correct
Yeah.
way, it's the wrong way.
And that was after you notified him. You told all of the neighbors I was getting out of the hospital that day and that I'd been injured and might be loud, because we had already told them, and the police had already told them, no, yelling is not a crime. You're allowed to use your... They were all out there watching the first time that when those neighbors called the police to report suspicious behavior because someone they knew was staying here was sitting on the porch. Like, your neighbors have repeatedly called the police on people that are your guests and had your guests removed from your property.
I remember how you were kicking your legs in the air and talking to yourself, and oh goody, like that doesn't look visually like my stimming or anything. Once when I stim, I'm glad I stim indoors
Yeah.
because no, I don't know how they would react to me stimming.
Yeah, I was visibly autistic in public, and they started arresting me for that.
Good thing I do my flashbacks by blankly staring into space and having to disappear into my mind for a while. It means I can hide this shit from these people because they're not good for me.
I can't do that when they're standing directly in front of me. Especially when people absolutely insist that I speak out loud to them, like maybe even after they agree in writing. No, no, we got them to agree over the phone. It was you, me, and your mom over the phone. When the social worker finally agreed to let me communicate in writing at our next meeting, and then as soon as they showed up, they talked me into speaking to them instead. After I explained to her in writing why we're having such a hard time communicating,
I couldn't even finish reading the intro that you had pre-written and you wanted me to read out loud because they interrupted me.
They just flatly refused to accommodate our disability because in their own paperwork,
not going to call the cops for anyone to help.
Yeah,
them.
they write in there, like in the paperwork, question whether I'm autistic because my sister doesn't know if I have a diagnosis. Like maybe the affected person who, like, they also neglect to mention, I'm pretty sure it's not in there anywhere, about the fact that I have a master's degree. Like I am.
You also have ADHD, therefore already neurodiverse in the first.
Yeah, but no, like they. Some of the reports are just flat out fabrications.
Lovely.
They just like completely lie about what actually happened. It's like the cop in Boston who just made a bunch of stuff up to justify sectioning me. But oh no, I wanted the landlord situation. Like we already had problems here because after I told your neighbors that I'd been threatened with swatting and fled Massachusetts in 2020, and that I came back here to try and recover from PTSD, and that I'd been, like, the police had been used to terrorize me in the past. Like, after we told them that, they decided to report, like, their first two reports in a row were suspicious behavior, which was literally just me sitting on the porch. Just me sitting on the porch drinking my coffee. Then one that a black female was walking down our street. In what direction? That was literally their first two reports were literally just to report that there was a black person in their neighborhood.
You exist there.
That was the suspicious behavior, was that there was a black person they didn't know in their neighborhood. Oh wait, no. They'd been introduced to me. They'd already told me that I was grieving too loudly because I was crying in the yard before my mom died and I was crying too loud.
Red had complained about how when we were expecting, about how we danced silently on the lawn for a few minutes because I was just calming you down, and she tried to say some remark about dancing, and I said dancing so flatly that she realized she's gonna go fucking nowhere if she tries to pursue this, because it's like a few minutes of silent dance and calm someone down is precise in the front lawn.
Yeah, like she's complaining about us dancing.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, somebody called the police to complain about me singing.
Yeah.
Like, they just, any time that they had any, like, just, I swear it was just if they could see me in the yard. It didn't matter what I was doing. They'd call the police because as soon as the police showed up, I'd freak out. They literally used the fact that we told them that I'd already been terrorized with the police to terrorize me. Because they did not start calling the police until after we told them that I had been terrorized with the police. And the first time that they did, when they called to report that suspicious behavior and the police showed up, we yelled back and forth, them on the sidewalk and me on the front porch, because I told them, no, I'm just sitting here and I don't need you, go away. And they were willing to do, like, a wellness check from the sidewalk. I was like, no, my mother died yesterday, I'm just sitting here drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I got them to yell back to me. I was like, so I am allowed to use my outside voice when I am outside? And the cop yelled back, yes, you are correct. You are allowed to use your outside voice when you are outside. And at least the three adjacent houses and the white one with the flag,
Yeah.
they all were out in their yards to watch what was happening because it was a mess of cops showed up for your guests sitting on your fucking porch. And they all already knew that I was a guest of this house and that I was supposed to be sitting on this porch.
Yep.
And they didn't start calling until after we told them that I had been terrorized by people using the police. And they didn't start calling because I was yelling and screaming. They started calling because I was just sitting there.
Yep.
Literally the day after my mom died. It was either the day after or 2 days after. Because that's the thing. It was immediately after, but for sure it was the day after my mom died that I played with the turkeys in our neighborhood 3 times.
Was that the baby's day?
Yeah, all three of those happened in the same day. First we ran that way, then we ran that way, and then I walked around the cemetery with the mama turkey and her 4 babies.
Yeah.
Some of those really magical moments. Like when I woke up, like I was just taking a nap on the lawn, I woke up and just there's all these turkeys. And it was really, really obvious from their body language that they were inviting me to go play with them. Like the way that they were looking at me and then looking at my feet and then looking at my face and then looking at my feet and then lifting their feet up. It was like that is just really obvious body language saying like let's go run, or like follow me or whatever it was. But that was one of those like moments. Like I could feel my mom in that moment. Wow. Yeah. Like I could just feel her there with me. And there was no like signal, they didn't make a sound. It just all of a sudden I knew we're running and we just ran to the corner. We just sort of ran as a pack to the corner. I don't know what you call a group of turkeys. We ran as just one group and then all together stopped, and I just got the sense of like the turkey was like, okay, that was fun, go home. And laid back down I came and yelled at you about it. I was like, and then I laid down in the yard, and there's just so many more turkeys. I think it was like 8 the first time. Around 8 or 10 the first time. And like 30 the second time. There was so many turkeys. And again, the look at my face, look at my feet, look at my face, look at my feet. And then we ran all the way across Bridge Street.
Anyway, there's a group of 5 turkeys walking around the current day neighborhood. They visit the driveway frequently.
Yeah, no, they come through the yard.
Yeah.
I've definitely made friends with the local wildlife. At least some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's surprising to me how close the bunnies will get.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a big white rat and 4 little brown rats in the back lot.
Mm-hmm. I saw a baby rabbit in my backyard one day.
I keep seeing all kinds of birds that I don't recognize, which means they're new to the neighborhood.
Yes.
Or just maybe our yard. So like maybe word's getting around that, yeah, no, they'll feed you snacks.
Probably. As long as me, I keep some finding discount birds to see. Because, look, his mom had left behind bird seed in the basement, so then I was really insistent on me, give me the bird seed, and that started the whole feeding birds thing between he and myself and our driveway, and then the one who's close enough to take the animals, eating stuff off of it.
I started feeding the birds after I we'll call it hallucinated. I had a 3-hour conversation with a bee, and it explained all of the most intense secrets of the universe and my place in it, and why my existence matters and how to be useful as a conduit for energies and like just all of these magical mystical things. I understood just everything, and then after like it was, I was just like standing in like a Planet Fitness parking lot in Indiana, and this was not like a high thing. It might have been a detoxing thing, because I hadn't had any weed for like a few days at that point. So this might have been me hallucinating because I was detoxing. I'm willing to be scientific and say that my spiritual experiences happen because of. It doesn't mean they don't happen. They happen because of. But so I was standing in a Planet Fitness parking lot in Indiana, and not high, not feeling weird. I just fine, like just normal fine, sad but normal fine. And then a bee flew into my car and landed on, I can't remember, I think it was strawberry soda that I was drinking. Landed on the cap of the strawberry soda. I remember looking at the bee and like noticing the contrast between like the dark green of the soda bottle cap and like the colors of the bee, and then just my brain went sideways and opened up to the universe, and God was talking to me and through the bee for like 3 hours. It was a really intense spiritual experience that like just like I had felt fine up to that point, and then just all of a sudden it was like the universe just tore my mind open, dumped all of the knowledge it could into it, and then like shook out what it couldn't contain anymore and threw me back. Because at the end of that 3 hour conversation, the bee basically was like, okay, you understand and know everything, now I have to take all of that away from you because you cannot, like, you can't function in the world with this kind of and I just the way that it was so overwhelming to have my mind, like my third eye just blasted open like that. I was like, yeah, no, take away everything I don't need. And now I have memory gaps and confusion, or I did. That's gotten a lot better. um yeah, now that, let's see, I've been off of all the pharmaceuticals except for the testosterone again since late June. And like I'm sad. Like my baseline is I do not want to live. But other than the sad, I feel better. I hate those medications. They make me feel so much worse. I'd rather be sad.
Yeah.
And like you know, like it gets pretty bad. I'm not capable of killing myself, so I'm just like, "Mm, I'll just lay down then." It's the harm reduction route. But the last time I did that too long.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing, is that at this point, I'm never gonna get the cat back. I would legitimately rather die than live my life trapped inside of any building. Like, I don't care if it's a hospital or a jail or what. I don't want to live my life trapped indoors. Like, that's in the report from the Boston police. The way that he words it is that like Randolph then started stating he no longer wanted to live and demanded that officers shoot him. Yeah, no, they left out the part where I said, yeah, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. If you're gonna force me to go back to a hospital, just fucking shoot me. Because by then he had, it made like it was obvious that he was gonna lock me up even though I didn't need to be, and I got upset because now I'm being forced to go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way they write their reports, is like to make them look like they're doing the right thing to protect me. No, he showed up and found that this woman had stolen my cat, and instead of respond to that problem, because he was there to like deal with the cat, he just went straight to locking me up. Because let's see, who was it that called him and told him to go check me out? The sergeant that intimidated you into filing a restraining order against me. Because someone else who had a problem with me, supposedly, reached out to the Weymouth police. But I also know that they just watch me anyway. Like, they have a whole mess of reports about just reporting on what I've been talking about on Facebook and falsifying those reports. Like that whole report about how I got detained and sectioned at the Canadian border. That's just not true. That's not what happened. But that sure is what their report based on. They're seriously just going by what they see on my Facebook. Oh, I finally read that. I got the paperwork from the restraining order that the social worker filed on my birthday. Yeah. In it, she references that I hadn't made any contact with her since November of 2025, but I had been, or something about November of 2025. I don't even remember what it said, but because the handwriting was hard to read. But that yeah, she filed a restraining order because I was complaining about her behavior as a member of the Weymouth Police Department by name on Facebook, and had gone to her work to file a complaint about her. So the court allowed a member of the police department to file a restraining order against a member of the public for filing a formal complaint with their employer about their misconduct as a member of the police department. So something our legal system is a human trafficking ring. The police departments and the court employees work together on that one because they all profit off of keeping people locked up. Like, their job is human trafficking. So yeah, so that's I think the first section of the response to the motion to dismiss is pretty solid. That looks pretty professional, right?
Yeah. We're still recording for the
Yeah,
case?
I'm still recording,
Okay.
yeah. Because this is, like, this, nobody but me really watches, me and the police, so, it's worded pretty well, cites the specific laws, corrects his false statements, points out where he made false statements. Oh, right, that's the paragraph I needed to double check. Alright, so prior to 9 a.m. on the morning of July 18, 2024, defendant turned off all utilities to apartment, gas, water, and electricity in violation of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 186, subsection 14, or maybe that's just section, I'm not really sure how to read that symbol, as acknowledged by his text message to tenant that they were turned back on after plaintiff left the premises. Defendant then harassed tenant in messages, demanding they make plaintiff leave, indicating he intended to change the locks against the tenants repeatedly stated wishes, and threatening to change the terms of their lease and evict them, also in violation of Massachusetts General Law. I'll have to look at that again because I don't know what's wrong with it. Oh, there it is. Just one erroneous comma. Alright, so I guess at this point I should probably end the recording because I'm back into thinking about this, but, yeah. So the first section is a page and a half, and then I have to do... Pleading something, I forget what it said. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I guess that's a good place to end this recording that nobody but me and the police are going to watch anyway. But yeah, the Weymouth Police Department and Boston Police Department both have, like, very easily verifiably falsified paperwork about me. Like, both of those police departments, the Braintree Police Department, like, well, I can't, that's the thing with the Braintree Police Department, because they don't have body cams. It's my word against theirs, and, it's their own word. Oh, right. Still have to decide if I'm going to go in and actually file a formal complaint against the prosecutor who just straight up made up details trying to get a judge to lock me up. Just completely, just this prosecutor who, she shouldn't have any stake in that, right? She made up details to make it look like there was actually evidence of a crime that I definitely didn't commit. She just made up that evidence, said it was there when it wasn't. It doesn't appear anywhere in the police reports because it didn't exist. And she told a judge while trying to get me locked up that this evidence existed somewhere. That's yeah, that's the bomb threat charge that after the Superior Court was like, yeah, no, there's absolutely no evidence to try this as a bomb threat. They changed it to I just threatened to commit a crime, just threat to commit crime, rather than admit that they lost that one and just drop it. Because, yeah, they tried to claim that I threatened to blow up a school and that a bin with stuffed animals and books in it was something they thought was a bomb after listening to me talk about, like, attending that school and how it was donations for the school. So, anyway, I'm finally gonna end this recording with some positive affirmation. I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and god damn it, I don't care if other people like me. Actually, I really do. So lonely.
Oh, well.
Well, that's the thing is, when I actually go out into the world and, like, socialize, people like me. I'm afraid to leave the house. For, your neighbors kept calling the police on me for existing in public reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I'll either be okay or I'll be dead.